My brother was murdered yesterday. I think I'm next. When the police called me yesterday morning, the world around me collapsed. Their words were cold. Your brother was found dead. They didn't say murdered at first, but I knew. My brother Aaron had always been a fighter. Not in the physical sense. He wasn't one to get into brawls or confrontations. But he had this way of pushing against the world, questioning everything, never letting things go. It made him successful in some ways, but it also made enemies. He was always digging into things, uncovering secrets that most people would rather stay buried. He said it was his nature, his way of coping with a world that never made sense to him. But now he was dead, and I couldn't shake the feeling that it had everything to do with whatever he had been digging into lately. Aaron had called me just a few days before, sounding more paranoid than usual. He wouldn't tell me what he was working on, just that it was big, bigger than anything he'd ever uncovered. He kept saying, "You need to be careful too, they know about you." I laughed it off at the time, thinking it was just his usual dramatics. The police didn't have much to go on. They said he'd been found in his apartment, the door locked from the inside. No signs of forced entry. But the look on the detective's face when he told me that, he knew more than he was letting on. "We're still investigating," he said, but his eyes told me something else. There was something they weren't telling me. After they left, I couldn't stay in the house. The walls felt like they were closing in, suffocating me with grief and fear. I needed air, needed to think. So I did the only thing that made sense. I went to Aaron's apartment. I needed to see it for myself, to understand what had happened, to feel some connection to him. The apartment was sealed off with crime scene tape, but I didn't care. I ducked under it, pushing the door open slowly, half expecting to find, I don't know what. His body was gone, of course, but the sense of him lingered, heavy and oppressive. The living room was a mess, papers scattered everywhere. His laptop was open on the coffee table, the screen cracked, but still on. A faint blue light flickered from it, casting eerie shadows in the dim light. I sat down in front of the laptop, my heart pounding in my chest. There were files open, documents he had been reading before it happened. They were all about a company I'd never heard of, Red Thorn Industries. There were pages of notes, links to articles, screenshots of emails. It didn't make any sense at first, but the more I read, the more I began to piece together what Aaron had been investigating. Red Thorn was a front, a shell company for something much darker, something that involved people disappearing, people like Aaron. There were names, dates, connections to politicians, law enforcement, people in power. And then there were the messages, threats sent to his email, warning him to stop digging. But Aaron never stopped. He couldn't. And now he was dead. I was so engrossed in what I was reading that I almost didn't notice the movement out of the corner of my eye. Almost. I turned, my breath catching in my throat, but there was nothing there. Just the shadows playing tricks on me, I told myself. But then my phone buzzed in my pocket, making me jump. I pulled it out, expecting another call from the police, or maybe a message from a friend offering condolences. But it was an unknown number, and the message was short, just 3 words. "You're next." My heart stopped. I looked around the apartment, the shadows seeming to close in on me. Panic surged through me, but I forced myself to stay calm. I had to think. Aaron wouldn't want me to fall apart. He would want me to fight back, to find out who did this and make them pay. But as I stood there, in the middle of Aaron's trashed apartment, I realized just how alone I was. Whoever killed Aaron, whoever sent that message, was out there, watching me, waiting for me to make a move. I was part of this now, whether I wanted to be or not. I grabbed the laptop and a few of the papers, stuffing them into my bag. I needed to get out, needed to find somewhere safe, somewhere to figure out my next move. But as I left the apartment, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that whoever killed Aaron was already closing in. That night, I barely slept. Every noise, every creak of the old house made me jump. I kept the laptop close, trying to make sense of the files, trying to understand what Aaron had found that was so dangerous. But the more I read, the more I realized just how deep this went, how many lives were at stake. And then I found it, an audio file, buried deep in a hidden folder. I almost missed it, but something made me click on it, something that felt like Aaron guiding my hand. The file was labeled simply, Confession.